The crystalline spires of the Imperial Medical Complex stretched toward the violet sky of Xerion Prime, their surfaces reflecting the desperate hope of an entire galaxy. Within the highest tower, Empress Zarathol lay dying, her luminescent skin flickering like a failing star as the greatest medical minds from 17 different species worked frantically around her. Dr. Vexhai, the renowned Altarian physician whose 6 arms moved with practiced precision, withdrew yet another failed treatment from the Empress's IV line. His compound eyes betrayed the frustration he felt. "The cellular degradation continues to accelerate," he announced to the assembled medical team. "We have perhaps 6 hours remaining." The room fell silent except for the soft humming of life support systems. For 3 months, the galaxy's finest healers had tried everything: Centaurian nano-repair bots, vegan psychic healing, even the forbidden time dilation chambers of the Kronos Collective. Nothing had slowed the mysterious plague that was consuming their beloved Empress from within. Commander Kai Thompson stood quietly in the corner, his weathered human face a stark contrast to the exotic features of the alien medical team. He wasn't supposed to be here. Humans were still considered a primitive species by most of the Galactic Council, barely worthy of associate membership. But Thompson had served with distinction in the border wars, earning the rare honor of Imperial Guard despite his species' lowly status. "Perhaps," Dr. Vexhai continued, his voice heavy with defeat, "it is time to begin preparing the succession. Protocols." "No." The word came from Thompson, cutting through the clinical discussion like a blade. Every alien in the room turned to stare at the human warrior. "Commander Thompson," spoke Dr. Silandra, the Empress's personal physician, her blue-scaled features showing polite condescension. "We appreciate your concern, but this is a medical matter requiring sophisticated understanding of—" "Have you tried human blood?" Thompson interrupted. The silence that followed was deafening. Several of the alien doctors exchanged glances that clearly communicated their thoughts about the crude suggestion from the primitive mammal. Dr. Vexhai's mandibles clicked in what Thompson had learned was the Altarian equivalent of nervous laughter. "Commander, human physiology is basic. Compared to our advanced healing serums and quantum cellular therapy, human blood is little more than salt water and iron," Thompson finished. "Yeah, I've heard the lectures, but humor me. What exactly is killing her?" Dr. Silandra consulted her floating holographic displays. "The plague appears to be a form of quantum virus that attacks at the subatomic level, corrupting the very building blocks of cellular structure. It's unlike anything we've encountered." Thompson nodded slowly. "And you've tried treatments from every advanced species in the galaxy?" "Naturally, the most sophisticated medical technology available, but never the most basic." The human warrior stepped forward, rolling up his sleeve. "On Earth, we have a saying. Sometimes the simplest solution is the right one. My blood isn't sophisticated, it's not enhanced with nanotech or psychic energy. It's just human. Full of antibodies from a species that crawled up from the mud, survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and every catastrophe you can imagine." Dr. Vexhai's compound eyes widened. "You cannot seriously suggest that primitive human blood could succeed where our most advanced treatments have failed." "I'm not suggesting it," Thompson said, producing a combat knife from his belt. "I'm volunteering it." Before any of the medical staff could stop him, Thompson drew the blade across his palm. Dark red blood welled up immediately, dripping onto the sterile floor. "This is madness," Dr. Silandra protested. "The contamination risk alone—" "Could it make her worse?" Thompson asked pointedly. The alien doctor hesitated. "Well, no. She's already dying." "Then what do we have to lose?" Dr. Vexhai studied the human for a long moment, his alien features unreadable. Finally, he sighed. "Very well. But we will need to process it first, run compatibility tests." "No time," Thompson said, watching his blood pool in his cup. "Homicide direct transfusion, now." The biological incompatibility could kill her instantly, Thompson looked at the dying Empress, her once radiant form now barely glowing. She's already dying, and sometimes in battle, you have to take desperate chances. Against every protocol, every scientific principle they held sacred, the alien medical team connected Thompson's arm to the Empress's IV system. Human blood began flowing directly into the royal veins of the galaxy's most revered leader. For several minutes, nothing happened. The monitors showed no change in the Empress's condition. Dr. Silandra was already preparing to disconnect the transfusion when suddenly, impossibly, the Empress's skin began to brighten. "By the stars of Altair," Dr. Vexhai whispered. The plague markers on the medical displays began dropping rapidly. The quantum virus signatures that had resisted every advanced treatment were simply disappearing. Within an hour, Empress Zarathul's eyes fluttered open for the first time in weeks. What happened?" she asked weakly. Thompson, now pale from blood loss but grinning, squeezed her hand. "Nothing sophisticated, Your Majesty. Just good old-fashioned human stubbornness." Later, as news of the miracle cure spread throughout the galaxy, Dr. Vexhai approached Thompson in the recovery ward. "I don't understand," the alien physician admitted. "How could primitive human blood succeed where all our advanced treatments failed?" Thompson chuckled, wincing as the movement pulled at his IV line. "Maybe that's your answer right there, Doc. You kept trying to outsmart the virus with sophisticated treatments. But sometimes, evolution's simplest solutions are the strongest. Humans have been fighting diseases for millennia, with nothing but what our bodies could produce. We're walking biological warfare labs, and we don't even realize it." The Altarian doctor's compound eyes reflected something that might have been newfound respect. "Perhaps we have underestimated your species, Commander." "Most people do," Thompson replied. "That's usually their first mistake." As word spread of the human cure, humanity's status in the Galactic Council was quietly but dramatically elevated. It seemed the galaxy had finally learned what humans had always known. Sometimes the most powerful weapons are the ones you're born with. And in the highest tower of Zerion Prime, Empress Zarathul recovered fully, carrying within her veins the blood of a human warrior and living proof that evolution's greatest triumph was not complexity, but resilience.